Coming up on show 633, we finally have a date and we know when we're going to see more of Tesla's Cybertruck electric pickup. Well, good morning, good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to EV News Daily, the show for Wednesday, 6th of November. My name is Martyn Lee. I've been through every EV story that I can find in the last 24-hour period, and I've whittled it down to the essential news you need to know. There is one huge news story, all coming from Elon tweets. Hey, thanks a lot to the gang at myev.com. Couldn't do this without them. They helped me make this show. myev.com is the URL that you need, the website in the USA that's all about connecting buyers and sellers in a safe, secure way that you would want done properly at myev.com. If you're in the market, buying or selling, has a plug socket, they have the cars you need. So, there you go. We got the date finally from Elon Musk. Tesla will finally unveil the long-awaited electric pickup truck on, drumroll please, November 21st. Elon Musk tweeted earlier on today, on Wednesday. The truck, which he has called the Cybertruck, is supposed to look something straight out of Blade Runner, the CEO has said. Writes The Verge, the truck will be unveiled at the design studio in Los Angeles, California. Now, Tesla's design studio sits on the same lot as SpaceX's headquarters. Why would they do it there? Musk has said the forthcoming pickup truck has a heart-stopping design with better utility than a Ford F-150 and superior performance to a basic Porsche 911. I wonder why they would do it at SpaceX, though. Well, there's plenty of theories surrounding that. You won't be surprised to hear the internet has done what the internet does best, and that is speculate wildly with no shred of evidence, apart from the fact it's going to be at SpaceX. Well, at least the same plot of land as SpaceX, and so many people are thinking that it'll be towing something very, very heavy as a way of displaying its brute force, high torque, maybe towing a rocket ship. Interesting. Well, the Cybertruck has been crafted to meet or exceed a Ford F-150. If the F-150 can do it, the Tesla truck can do it. Musk suggested it has a cyberpunk design like it came out of the sci-fi movies, and the rest of us will determine whether that's an accurate description in a couple of weeks. Elon noted that the reveal date is strangely familiar. Yes, the classic cyberpunk movie Blade Runner is indeed set in Los Angeles in the month of November in the year of 2019, according to Engadget. And it's not clear if the Cybertruck will be a production-ready vehicle or just a concept vehicle. Elon first bought up the pickup truck in 2017, around this time in 2017, and said it would be no more than 24 months. And Elon time doesn't apply here because he's bang on the money with the timeline, because exactly 2 years later, says CNET, we get to see it. In the time since Tesla's pickup was announced as part of the company's future lineup, things have really changed. Companies like Rivian have attracted a lot of attention with electric pickup trucks. The startup has also received investments from the likes of Amazon, even Ford themselves investing in Rivian. Meanwhile, legacy automakers like GM and Ford confirmed they have their own battery electric pickup trucks coming. Well, traditional automakers have typically had the pickup segment locked down, so it remains to be seen if Tesla can take a stab at the pickup truck market. Yet, if there's anything that we've learned watching Tesla over the past few years, never count the company out. And it's a huge market, which simply doesn't translate to many places outside of America. Sure, Aussies have the Ute, but for instance, we don't have the pickup truck here. Sure, we have cab trucks. I'm saying they exist. You see them on the road rarely. They would be used by tradespeople. They would have like a 3 up front, or maybe 2 and 3 and 3 at the back. We have them, just no one drives them. They are around, you see them, but we have panel vans. White van man is a thing for us. We use vans rather than trucks, covered vans. Maybe it's because our weather is so terrible. But that is not to say that I have not done my research on the importance of the pickup truck to the American market. Indeed, the Ford F-150, if the Ford F-150, the single model, the F-150, was an entire car company on its own, it would be bigger than most other entire car companies just with that one model. It is a beast of a seller, and that's just the Ford F-150. We don't really have that competition here. We don't really have that excitement about trucks. The Tesla pickup truck is not going to be a big seller in this country. That is not to say that I do not underestimate how huge the market is in the US, where, let's face it, you have a little more space than we have. We're a little more cramped in this tiny island that we broadcast from, that we call Great Britain. So let's talk next about BMW. And they're getting in on the act of charging, actually. BMW Group, press release that I saw today. BMW told me they're setting the course for the future of electric mobility by installing 4,100 charging points for EVs at German locations by 2021. The new charging infrastructure enables BMW employees to charge their cars at their workplaces with attractive conditions. The plans for Germany include mostly AC charging, with some fast charging DC of 50 kilowatts. The AC is going to be 11 kilowatts. The power supply, of course, they will ensure it all comes from renewable energies. The majority of the charging points installed in the greater Munich area for employees of BMW Group. Persuading the workforce they should be driving EVs, because let's face it, if they're building EVs, well, they should be driving one as well. Well, moving on, and another press release that I got today all about Opel, otherwise known as Vauxhall. The electrification offensive from Opel continues. Next year, the Opel Vivaro, one of those vans that I was talking about, transit van shape, will be offered as a pure battery electric version. Customers can choose between two sizes of battery. And forgive me if I don't think these are very big. The Opel Vivaro E will be available firstly as a 50 kilowatt hour battery for a range of up to 200 kilometres, and a 75 kilowatt hour battery for 300 kilometres on the WLTP test cycle. Emissions-free deliveries are becoming increasingly important in urban areas, and the demand for pure electric commercial vehicles is rising accordingly. And that's, of course, where you need to factor some common sense in. Whilst a big van, a big panel van like a Transit, and in this case the Opel Vivaro, has a big flat area between the wheels for a skateboard design, for a massive battery if you wanted. Firstly, you've got to carry that weight around all day, and then there's payload. So the more you have as battery, the less you can carry as cargo to hit certain weight rules and limitations and regulations that apply. So you don't want to stack up on too much battery. You won't be able to carry too many Amazon parcels. And also, when you think about it, if you are designing a vehicle for a purpose, if they've done their research and it says most of these kind of vans are going to be bought by people or companies who will charge every single night, and actually they will do maybe 50 or 60 miles, if you're lucky actually, in urban areas delivering parcels or getting a job done, why put anything bigger in than a 50 or a 75 kilowatt hour battery? It makes sense, I get it. Let's talk about how you're going to charge cars, though. Street furniture. Have you heard that phrase, street furniture? It refers to things like the cabinets that are on the side of the road, and I think also it refers to things like street lamps and lampposts and stuff. But we have a pretty good underground TV cable system in this country. It kind of came together from a hodgepodge in the 1990s of lots of individual companies all around the UK in each individual local area were digging up the street and laying cables, and then they all kind of merged, and these days the company is now called Virgin Media, and that's the one cable company that we have. They all came together, mergers or being bought out. I'm not quite sure what happened over that 20 or so years, but we have a pretty good cable network. Not everyone has cable TV, but leveraging Virgin Media's street cabinets, well, there are 40,000 street cabinets dotted around our housing estates, and they are all powered. There are 170,000 kilometres of ducting. How can we use those for EVs? This is smart thinking. Owner of the company, Liberty Global, not owned, of course, by Richard Branson. A short history lesson on Virgin. Nearly Every Virgin that you see isn't owned by Richard Branson. He licenses the name, right? So what does he own? He owns his airline, and I think he owns a couple of others. But otherwise, if you see a Virgin, not owned by him, owned by somebody else, they just buy the name in, right? Because it's a good name, and it's a good brand. So Liberty Global use the name Virgin. They pay Branson, I'm sure, handsomely to use the name Virgin Media. Okay, so they own the company. They have created a partnership with a government research and innovation department called Innovate UK, and they're going to help local authorities find solutions where on-street parking is pretty limited. Like I say, we're a small island, and many houses were built a long time ago, before the motor car. So, more people need to use EVs. How do we solve that? A range of solutions in urban areas, and one of those is to use all of that street furniture. So, Jason Simpson is the VP of Global Energy and Utilities for Liberty, said this, and I quote, "Leveraging street cabinets allows Liberty Global to look beyond traditional uses of telecom infrastructure and make a positive impact on the environment and in communities throughout the UK," end quote. I'll pop a link to their press release in the show notes if you'd like to read more about a really interesting way of thinking about how to add charging to on-street parking for those people that don't have driveways, garages. They're simply finding a space somewhere outside their house and parking on street. And finally, the e-power cars do very, very good business in certain countries. Maybe you don't know about e-power, but the Nissan e-power technology is something that is wildly popular, and the high-end bit of the company, Infiniti, if you like, are going to be using that e-power technology. Let me explain more. The new what they call gas-generated, I call it petrol-generated EV powertrain, represents the next step into their electrified future, acting as a bridge to full EVs and setting the tone for the upcoming low-emission cars. However they're powered, cars will, they say, be thrilling if you buy an Infiniti, and there will be all-wheel drive systems. The petrol-powered EV, they call it gas-generated EV. At least they're not calling it self-charging hybrid. In effect, all it is a series hybrid. Let me explain what a series hybrid is. Internal combustion engine that operates a generator. Some call it a range extender in the BMW i3, but in this case, it's a generator. The generator purely charges a battery pack. That, in turn, powers the motors, which turns the wheels, according to adnp.media website. Worth noting that Infiniti is undertaking an approach of two powertrains, one platform. So on one platform, some of the cars they make are going to be e-power or whatever they call series hybrids. Some of them are full EVs, and you can get a fully electric powertrain on that platform, simplifying production through commonality. For the full EV, the space between the axles will be where the battery is, the skateboard design. For the petrol powered EV, the space has a small battery pack and a fuel tank and the exhaust system. Benefits to this is that you always drive on electric power. I know you're burning fossils, bear with me. So you're always using electric motor, single gear, driving with instant torque, and you are using electrical power. These cars don't have plug sockets, though, at least the Nissan e-Power ones. They don't have plug sockets. You can't add electricity to them without adding polluting fuels. So the emissions benefit is that the engine working as a generator can be more efficient. So if you're driving around town at slow speeds, the engine can run at a faster speed and charge the battery up and then switch itself off. So it has long periods of being off, but then when it turns on, it runs in its optimal power band, fills the battery and stops. That's the technology. Like I say, wildly popular, not in this country, not in the US, not Australia, but in some places, not across Europe really. In some places, series hybrid, very, very popular. Okay, let's move on. Question of the week this week, set by myev.com. What do you prefer? Is it the carrot or the stick? Is it the incentive for EV drivers, or is it the penalties for polluters? Let me know. Email me, hello@evnewsdaily.com. Leave a comment on socials. Thank you to the 254 patrons of this show who do indeed make it happen. That's you, Phil Roberts, of Electric Future. That's you, Brad Crosby. That's you, the gang at Avid Technology, all my premium partners of this podcast. If you'd like to get any of the 632 shows in the archive, they're online, they're there for free. The new ones come at you first and free and automatically if you hit subscribe in your podcast app. Have a wonderful day. Catch you soon. Remember, there is no such thing as a self-charging hybrid.